put together a wonderful sculpture
to
explain your story when you started out. So maybe it's not that deficient. Maybe you just used different craft.
It's a lesson I keep relearning, honestly. I don't know if I'll ever really learn it. And what I mean is not every day you need a picture, but when you're sort of charting a big course or a big, kind of destination, it's really helpful, literally, to have a picture. And one company I worked at Stride Right, we were charting a kind of difficult course, and our designer in the company took, I don't want to get too specific, but basically created a doll that represented where we were trying to head. It was so effective. There was these big, burly executives in the company who liked to carry that doll around and put that doll in a meeting to remind us. And I learned that. I thought I learned it then. But I have to keep relearning that. It's funny to me.
So running a company obviously has its ups and downs. How do you deal with the stress? What do you do to kind of get back to homeostasis?
I commit really hard to exercise. So in my case, that's on a kind of ordinary week basis. It's pretty extreme distance walking and yoga. Mm-hmm. And I also do a boot camp, which is kind of what you might imagine, almost like a football training camp. Right. And then on a vacation type basis, my favorite vacation is long distance hiking. So I like that. I've read that the repetitive exercise, like biking, swimming, running, is really stabilizing emotionally and mentally. Mm-hmm. And I think it's true. I absolutely do. And I won't walk with anyone else. I won't listen to music.
So you're not multitasking?
No, I will have meetings at the office where I ask someone to wear walking shoes. So that's a multitask. But I mean, my own walks in the morning, today I was thinking out how I wanted to communicate something. And I didn't actually assign myself a task for the walk. That would ruin it for me. It's just kind of, and I don't always think about serious things either. I think about personal things or what I want to eat, but it really works for me. So that's one. Actually, it's the main thing I would say that helps me. I do keep run a pretty tight home ship. I know that sounds strange, but I don't feel successful here unless home's pretty okay. So that's what we eat, or the visual environment, or having flowers and clean clothes. Like, I can't accept home falling apart even if I'm working a million hours. That puts a burden on me, and obviously it's work, but I try to outsource what I can, but I just know I have to have that. I can't go home to chaos.
I like that. So what's next for you and the company?
So for us, we have a long way to go before I feel like we've done...
Just a kid, right?
We are. I mean, the first 4 years to me could have collapsed to one if we'd had capital and the times were better. So, and that's kind of good. I mean, I don't feel like bored, like, oh, we've been doing this so long. I don't feel that way at all. We were waiting to do what we're doing now. So that's pretty cool. But here's what I want for this business. We're launching products. We're trying to level the playing field. And I want, when we launch a product, that it's a cultural and business phenomenon, that it has real economic impact, and that people will know what the Grommet is that day. Mm-hmm. And we're getting there, but we still have a long way to go. And there are sort of business components of that. It's not all about sort of media and being known. It's real business impact for these companies. Having, in our case, a wholesale extension of our business is a new thing we're doing, so that when we launch a product, there are actually retailers waiting to sell it. If we tell them it worked and this community loved it, we've got immediate step 2, and that's a big advance in this business. For me personally, well, I don't have a next thing I want to do. This may be my life's work, frankly. That doesn't mean I want to do it forever. I don't mean that. I just mean this is maybe the big one. The secondary objective, though, in my professional life is, by the time my niece, who's 2, is 15, I have 13 more years. If she names 10 entrepreneurs, I'll be damned if 5 of them aren't women. So I'm working on that pretty hard.
That's a really good idea. Really, really good. Final question. What role does culture play in this particular business?
Everything. Culture is incredibly central. I don't think it's a goal. Like, I don't think you say this will be our culture. It's a product of behaviors and values, you know, kind of. So like a few years ago, I started being asked to talk about our culture, and I was kind of stymied almost. I had to tell it through stories and decisions, and then I realized, oh yeah, we do actually have a way of doing things. Still probably don't have words to crystallize it precisely, but it has to be modeled by the leaders. And so my co-founder and I have very similar values, I would say, as people. I don't mean just as business people, as people. So I think it started with us, but then we hired people who extended it, made it better, enriched it. So it's central. I know that sounds really vague, but if I see something that's off color culturally, it's going to bother me more than a business result, you know, more than anything. Because that's really dangerous. I'll give you a concrete example, though, of how we support it. This is one thing we do that's unique. Everybody in the company has a VP job.